We have all been there. You sit down to be productive, open a brand new to-do list, and write down everything you need to finish eventually. Whatever is in your mind, you are trying to do that in a to-do list. And eventually you are getting what is in your plate. But it completely fails to tell you what to do first. That means prioritize. So in old days, work was self-evident. Fields would be plowed, cows milked, crops were packed. So you could see it clearly that the work is progressing, and eventually we can see that work is going to finish. So work is not anymore work; it's a knowledge work. So best example for this is now every project can be done better. Like if you have a PPT, you have to make a presentation, and for each presentation, every slide you can more improve. There could be different improvements. Each wordings can have better impact. So there are no limited boundaries of that boundaries which we used to have in the work. They are no more. You want to milk the cow, the workers they are packing that box. It was ultimately if that was just a work, and you know that if I will milk the cow and you have a cow, 10 cows, and you will be able to see the progress, and there was boundaries to complete it, so 10 cows. But in the current scenario, if we have to make a ppt, there could be much better ppts. If you are a website developer or app developer, there could be much if you have created one workflow, there could be much better workflow. So there are no boundaries, so we are in an era of knowledge work. So to solve this, people are using the Eisenhower matrix, which is important urgent matrix, which usually are having the four quadrants, and which will be like vertically they will put important and not important, and horizontally they will put urgent and not urgent. So if the first one, which is important urgent, it is do it immediately. If it is important but not urgent, block out a dedicated calendar time, put that in a calendar, so you will do that as you will get a time. And if it's urgent but not important, you can delegate that. If this is not important, not urgent, you should delete that, drop that from your uh, timetable. What it tells to you, it tells you what is in your plate, which to-do list also was for me. It also tells you what to do first. It gives the priority, but it doesn't tell what is the next action for the project. If you have a project and you that's in urgent and important, so you know these are the few tasks which will be in urgent, important, first quadrant. So you know I'm going to take an action to that, but it doesn't tell if you take any project what is the next action you have. So it tells you do these three things now, schedule these five for later, and of these four which is in third quadrant, and stop doing the rest of the things which are. So the people turn to frameworks like, as I said, Eisenhower Matrix. They tell you to divide tasks into urgent, important, and it sounds perfect on paper, right? But it still has a massive flaw. The next action problem. It doesn't tell you what is the next action you have to take. Even if you know a project is important or urgent, the matrix doesn't tell you the very next physical step you need to take to move forward. So for this, Getting Things Done, the book which is written by the David Allen, and in that the Get Things Done system, which David Allen introduced, changes everything. The goal, no more. The goal is no more reminders kept in your brain. So there should be no brain should not remind you that you have this task. Leave that stuff. You take all that stuff from your head and put that in a bucket and process that and take clear decisions using that decision tree which he has created, and ask and the two questions which you should ask. What is it? And there is any work which the stuff which David Allen calls. What is it? And the next And is it actionable? Those two questions which we should ask. So this is a workflow. So if whatever the stuff you have, you should put that in a basket. Whatever is that, it could be you want to clean the room. Yeah, there's a one object on your table which you want to remove. There could be big presentations, funding events. It could be anything which you want. So everything you have to put in a basket. So and after creating this bucket, it should be very trustable. You should trust this. That whatever is in your mind, you should put that in a basket. And after putting in a basket, you should ask the first question. Whenever you will take that anything from your basket, yeah, what is it? And after getting, do you think it may be actionable? Then put it in someday or maybe basket. If you think this could be a reference for the other actions, then put it in a reference. If it is actionable, what is the next action you need to take? If the action is in just less than 2 minutes, you should do it at that time. If the action, if you feel this is an action and it's a one step action and it takes less than 2 minutes, do it that time. If it is not that action which is not more than 2 minutes, what you should do, you should see that do this task I need to delegate. Is it waiting for some? So you need to delegate. You need to put that in a delegate. If that action, let's suppose this is an event and gathering at some point, then it will go to the calendar. You have to put that in a calendar. And if that action is, of course, you have to do, then you should put that in the next action basket and do that as soon as possible. But if the action itself is a project, that means it's more than one action. Then you have to put that in a project basket. So if anything is coming, which is a project, that means which is more than one action, that needs to be put in project box. And after the project box, that should be taken in the project planning, and you should do the planning. There are the methods, the planning, the way of planning the projects, which we can discuss in further videos. But if that's the project planning, you have to review that and understand what are the actions in there. And those actions you should pass again. And those actions you should either delegate or defer, put a calendar, those actions you need to do. So if you will see, this is a more broader sense of Heisenberg matrix, important matrix. So if you see when there is it's not actionable, it's a delete. So you are doing delete. And when it goes down and you are saying delegate it, it's a not important plus urgent. Then you are doing calendar, you are scheduling it. And next step is directly do it. So this is a more advanced format of Heisenberg matrix. So if you have to, so if you have to build this, you should build the baskets. So the practical example for this is here. So you are putting, I'm using the Trello for this. So you are putting all your stuff in this. This is a Trello website. You can use it. You are putting all your tasks in this, in the stuff. Then if you are asking, you are taking any first stuff and you are saying, is it, what is it? And is it actionable? If it is actionable, then, well, if it's not actionable, then you will say, is it, maybe someday it will become actionable. If it is, then it will go in, maybe or someday basket. If it is totally, this is irrelevant, there is no reference, I'm not going to do it, will go to the trash. And if this information or this task is not actionable, but this could be a reference for some, then you put in that in reference. Yeah, so it's a direct action or 2 minutes of action. You will do it. The stuff you're saying, and you saw it's a 2 minutes, you will do that at the time. And if it's not, it's just the action, you will put that in action. And if it's more than If it's action, you will put that in action. If it's a project, it goes into the project list. From project, it will go to project plan. Then in you are doing the planning on it. Then you're taking the next actions as well as you are doing some stuff, which is calendar. Or you can say it's going to some delegation. Same could be some stuff could be came and that could be like, so you can delegate that, or some could be like calendar. So this way you can use a Trello and to form this, which I was doing. Thank you.